Tottenham head into this feisty London derby 1 point ahead of West Ham in the Premier League. Welcome to the build-up for West Ham's Cup final, and I hope you enjoy the preview. Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you a preview and live build-up to today's massive North London derby, West Ham's Cup final. As you can see, we are joined by a stellar panel today. Just before we get in, ask the guys how they are. There will be no Jack today. He is away. It's his mother's birthday, so he's gone away to treat her, surprise her with his presence. So, he deserves a week off and let him go and enjoy it. Josh, my man, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Apart from being all bunged up and horrible, I'm good to go. The prospect of us potentially doing the spanners over has got me pumped for today. Really bad.
Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing. I bounced out of bed this morning. Mr. Daigle, how are you keeping, my man?
I'm good, mate. Like you said, stellar panel. What a panel, man. I get to be with Josh, Phil, and obviously your good self. And you and me, we've been trying to have a phone call for about 4 weeks. So to have a chat with you now is always fantastic. It's good to be with the other guys as well.
No, 100%. Look, I was supposed to do this yesterday. I was supposed to have the phone call yesterday. But honestly, the missus dragged me out to start doing a bit of Christmas shopping. So, nothing I could do there. I was being
well, look what my breakfast is. Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah, I love a good
baby. Gotta love a mince pie, mate.
So we all know what Daigle has for breakfast anyway, mince pies and tea. Big up, Phil. How are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, I'm great. Looking forward to it today. So, come on.
No, it's going to be an absolute good one. Look, everyone else out there, whether you're hungover, whether you're just out of bed, having a bit of breakfast, this is the place to be right now. Live build-up. What more do you want? We're going to get you pumped up here. Let's welcome some of the Harris Army into the building. We have Tottenham Tantrum says, here we go. It's time to burst some bubbles. Show them who the real bosses are in town. Big up, guys. Let's get a win today. 2-1, Kane and Højbjerg on the score sheet. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Spurs. We have the channel comedian Kuva. He says, we've been battered in every London derby this season, even Palace. We're only just scrapping wins by the odd goal against Villa, who didn't turn up, and an awful Newcastle team. Bad feeling about this. Look, no worries, my man. Look, by the end of it, honestly, you're going to believe we can beat these 10-0. Trust me. It's what I do. I just get people hyped up for the matches. DMT85 says, morning, people. Big up, everyone. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, DMT. Good to see you in. It's good to see so many in this hour of the morning. Salary Agent says, pick yourself up, my man. Willie McKenzie's in the house, says, come on, you Spurs. I'm hoping for a Kane and more a goal today. Very well could happen, my man. Shamu Van Spurs is in the building. Beat yourself up. Not looking forward to seeing how the lads get on. We owe West Ham a receipt. A receipt after that Lanzini banger. Yeah, 100%, my man. 100%. Big up Chris. Chris is in the house. Another comedian. Just big up the Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Andrew Bailey's in the house. He says, let's hope for a better show today. Come on, you Spurs. P.S. Declan Rice is a traitor. Yeah, he is. He is tiring, my man. That he definitely is. I want to injure him today. Umaroto says, come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, Umaroto. Daigle's in the chat. Josh is in the chat. It's good to see them in. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's too early, lad. My eyes aren't even that wide open. So he just says, come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, my man. We also have Pamela Slims in the house. Son on the score sheet today. Pamela, look, I hope so. Look, Sonny, he'll turn up. Sonny and Lucas, you can guarantee will turn up. It's Kane and Ndombele. We need to turn up with them. Derek Hutchinson says, here we go. Let's hammer the irons in the ground where they belong. Come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, my man. The regulars in the house says, come on, you Spurs. Ben is in the house. Morning. Good morning, Ben. I hope things are well. Craig Bowler's in the house. He says, morning, David. Hope you're well. Big up, Craig. Hope you're keeping well, brother. Kev Williams says, come on, Spurs. Please don't let us all down today. Nah, look, I have a good feeling about today. Look, I know Thursday happened, but look, guys, it's a complete different 11. Sanuska Ramshunder says, good morning, all. Let's get a good result today. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Mr. Edwardson is in the house. He says, morning, big yourself up. Big Boss Man just says, woo! Big yourself up, Big Boss Man. You've just got me some extra throws on my list today from the missus. Thank you. We also have John Langford in the house. Says, big up my man Daigle. Big up, John. Big yourself up. We have Wayne Bonner in the house. Morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. 3-0. Will win will do me. Win. It'll do all of us, my brother. It'll do all of us. It's good to see you, my man. A nice early one for you, actually. It's a nice early one for you because I know you'd be busy with the landscaping and all. Dark So G says, some PRM and Hoiberg and Reggie goal today, please. Look, Regulon, I'd love to see him get one, my man. He is definitely overdue one. Big up, Dark Sun G. It's good to see you in the house. And he says, 3-0. Big yourself up, my man. Liam 1 says, come on, lads. Kane to score, brace, and Antonio to pull a hammy 5 minutes in. Liam, I hope you're right, lad. I do hope you're right. Mark Cousins says, morning, lads. Yes, I'm hungover, but can't wait for the game. That's what I'm talking about, Mark. You and Phil Letitia here are in the same situation, you know. But bottles of Lucasade Original and cups of tea, my man, and bring you together in time for 2 o'clock. Rowan Kumar says, Son and Kane going to be on fire today. Just wait for it, guys. Come on, you Harris Army. Big up, Rowan. Hope you're keeping well. The 2-1, this person is saying, big yourself up. Kieran Keys is in the house this morning, lads. Let's beat the Pikey boys today. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, Kieran. Let's fucking have them. Let's, I don't even know if I'm allowed to swear this time in the morning. But anyway, look, let's have them. Toffee20 says, tough game today. Come on, boys. Come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up. Jason Kane, Harry Kane's uncle, says, come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, lad. Hope you're keeping well. And this person saying, come on, the son's going to score today. Absolutely love it. And Hoiberg, the best Pierre in North London, is in the house, says, hi, big yourself up, Pierre, my man. Hope things well. Please go out there, put in a good performance today. And I'm sure Declan Rice why he wishes he played for Ireland. Joe says, big up David and the panel. Winning is the only option. Please cannot deal with any abuse from West Ham's 3-1 Spurs. Let's have it. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, this is another. None of us want to be the club that is being laughed at again. You know, look, Joe, I have a good feeling about today. I do. I have a very good feeling about today. Don't ask why, but I do. Big Boss Man says, question for the panel. Anyone slightly worried with that the Gooners have turned the corner? No, not whatsoever. Trust me. It's always going to be the same old Arsenal. Look, you know, these wins are good for them. It gives them false dawn. And they'll go on 2 draws and a few losses. And then, you know, they'll be crying. And then Arteta will win again and he'll keep his job. And Aaron Fernandez, he says, Super Daigle. And he says, David Kane prediction. I haven't seen Harry Kane's hair today, my man. But look, I've been speaking to his barber. He assures me, you know, it's nice, slick. It's gelled back. There's not hair out of place. He assures me that, you know, because the London Stadium is so big and has that running track around it, he's going to get some good wind flowing through the hair, which means it's going to keep Harry Kane's head nice and cool, especially when that ball presents itself in front of goal and he's going to tap one in. I can already feel it, my man. So there you are, and there's your Harry Kane hair prediction until the watch along where I will give one. So look, guys, I'll just run through a quick few things here, and then we'll start getting the guests in on some chat, on some questions. First of all, guys, if anyone is actually going to the game, make sure you get the binoculars out. Make sure you get your megaphone out so that you can see the game, and the second one, the players can hear you chanting. You are so far back. Look, you might even be spoiled to a spectacle today. You might see Usain Bolt take a gold medal in the 500-meter sprint during the game. So you never know. Look, I want to absolutely smash the banners. I want to beat the Pikey boys. And I want to absolutely annihilate them bubble blowers. Everything you guys do need to know. Actually, a bit of a joke for you. What do you say to a West Ham fan with a good-looking bird on his arm? Nice tattoo. Everything you need to know, guys. It's away at the London Stadium. It is at 2 p.m. off. Paul Tierney is the referee. He does love a yellow card. 23 yellows in 6 games. So I wouldn't say he's going to let a lot go today. Of course, you can catch the game on Fraud Sports. But look, just watch the game on Fraud Sports. Turn down the commentary and make sure you guys are back here from 1:50 p.m. for the watch along and turn on the commentary from here. And guys, you can also join me on more of a pre-match pump up starting at 12:30 over on We Are Tottenham TV. West Ham are 7th in the Premier League. They are 1 point behind Tottenham. And Antonio is their main threat with 5 goals and 3 assists so far in the Premier League. And West Ham do play a 4-3-2-1. Tottenham are 5th in the Premier League. They can overtake Brighton, who actually, we might be ahead of Brighton last night after the goal difference, but who got slapped by City last night. And then it can push 3 points clear of them nicely in top 4. Sun is our main threat in the Premier League with 4 goals already. And, of course, we match up with a 4-3-2-1 today, so it'll be a very interesting battle. Players injured for Tottenham, it is Matt Doherty. Of course, he got injured on international duty for the Republic of Ireland, playing guitar, who he absolutely bounced off. And Session is still out with his hamstring injury. West Ham, Kral is out with COVID, apparently. And Kufal, the right back, he is expected to face a late fitness test, but probably will be ruled out with a groin injury. We are going to bring up a bit of something here for you guys. And we're going to let Josh explain it.
Right. So, we come into this game, 8 games played, 5 wins, and we've only lost 3. We've minus 3 goal difference with an average of 1.13 games per match. Pass accuracy of 83%, tackle success of 57%. Last 5 is pretty much self-explanatory. We've lost our last game against Vitesse, won the previous 3 before that, and then lost against Arsenal in the North London derby. West Ham, again, played 8-1-4, lost 2, drawn 2. Plus 5 goal difference with 15 goals scored and 10 goals conceded with an average of 1.88 goals per game, 82 pass percent accuracy and 54% tackle success. They've only lost 1 game in their last 5. However, I think it goes without saying the pass accuracy, the tackle success. I think we're slightly ahead on that. We providing that we actually turn up and we get stuck in, which I have seen a lot of us doing. We aren't afraid to get stuck into a tackle, especially with the first team. I mean, let's not talk about the second team because that was tragic. No, the first team, we love getting stuck in. We since Nuno's taken over, we've been getting really aggressive with our football, and I kind of like it. Yeah. So hopefully we break a couple of legs today. We break Declan Rice's ankle, and we get the 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. We have Wayne. Look, Wayne, I know I've upset you, and it's only like 10:15. But look, I hate to say it to you, your team is crap. It's as good as it's going to get for you right now, forever as it's going to get. And look, I hope you're not one of them guys with a nice bird with the tattoo on your arm either, my man. But look, like I said, if you are going to the game, Wayne, can you please get onto Sullivan and Gold and make sure that they are providing binoculars and megaphones for the Spurs fans turning up today, because they will be so far back from the pitch. But look, Wayne, make sure you come back here once we beat you today, my man. Big yourself up. I'll just get you a few stats, a couple of super chats. And then we will get the questions. But it's good to see so many West Ham fans in crying already. It's absolutely magnificent. This is what
they're the only team that I know that will sit there and celebrate a point against us. They literally are the only team that will celebrate a point.
Final. It's as good as it gets,
Who pulled that comment out? Wayne. It is West Ham's cup final, mate. And yet no one likes us. And you know what? We really, really don't care. And you sit there and say that we cry when we call you. We've adapted the term Yid Army. That's why when you've got when the whole of that away end is screaming out, "Come on, you Spurs!" and "Yid Army, Yid Army," we bring the atmosphere to your ground. We bring the atmosphere to your ground. You are there to see Spurs. You're not there to see West Ham. You are there to see Spurs. So when we do you over tonight, mate, come back here and then say the same shit again.
They should be paying for us to turn up today. But look, we'll get you the stats here. West Ham, of course, have avoided defeat in both Premier League games last year against us. The 3-3 draw when Winks should have absolutely cleaned Lanzini out. And, of course, the Sanchez own goal helping towards that. And then we got spanked at their stadium. Tottenham have won 3 of the last 4 games at the London Stadium. West Ham have lost their last 2 home games in the Premier League to a 2-1 scoreline, losing to United and Brentford. No wonder why Wayne's not happy. None of Tottenham's last 14 Premier League games have ended in a draw, so I wouldn't be putting money on a draw today. Kane has scored 11 Premier League goals versus West Ham in his career, so I'd put a sneaky fiver that he might score today. Antonio has scored more Premier League goals versus Tottenham than he has against any other team in the Premier League. and Antonio and Ben Rama have created 17 chances for each other, more than any other duo in the Premier League this season. So they are the players to watch out for. We'll just take these super chats. William Kelly says this is going to be a battle. A battle we better be ready for, otherwise they will roll us. Brian, what would you say to William?
Was it they're looking at me. So okay, so look, this all depends on it. Were they at home in Europe or were they away last week on Thursday?
Home. They were home.
Okay, so there's not been that travel. But I think what West Ham have been doing, if I'm right, is every Sunday when they played after a Europa League game, they haven't won. And that's what happened with us as well when we first started getting it, balancing the two tournaments, especially the first time. You see it with other teams that have been in it for the first time. They just don't know how to cope with it. So I think that works in our favour. But West Ham did things like when they were 3-0 up, I believe it was 3-0. They took Declan Rice off with half an hour to go. Now, obviously, we know your feelings on Declan Rice, David. Declan Rice to me is world class. He's absolutely outstanding. So for me, he's better than. I don't know why he went off in the Euros final. He was literally running that game, and it went downhill from there. Listen, this game is a game where I don't even care about the performance. All I care about is 3 points. I don't care if it's as dull as anything and we get a 1-0 off someone's arse. Hopefully we're ready for it. I mean, thankfully, the good thing we will be ready for it, I will say, is we've got a completely fresh squad. Yeah. Everyone is in tip-top in fashion. Everyone's ready to go. And thankfully, we don't have to rely on anyone from Thursday's absolute embarrassing nightmare. So this is huge, but this game West Ham fans have been waiting for since COVID. They've been waiting for this one. This is the one they wait for. It is a huge game, but it's a huge game for us as well. It's a huge game all round. So for a lot of Spurs fans, this is bigger than some of the other derbies. So this game is huge. And like I said, I don't even care if we're in a boring 1-0 win. I think we'll be ready because we've had a week as opposed to West Ham. I think that's what gives us the edge. That and obviously how they balance Europe.
Yeah. Well, there you are, William Kelly. You know, I hope Mr. Daigle has got you absolutely fired up for the game today. William, you know, down in Australia, let me know what time it is, my man. I'm sure it's not a good time for you, but you're up getting behind the boys anyway, but big yourself up. Look, we'll be up for it. I have no doubt about it. I really do believe we'll be up for this. It's a North London derby and we have to put things right at some stage. But big up William Kelly, my man. I really appreciate the support. And Dark Sun G says 2 games for us are important. West Ham and Man United, we need to win. Yeah, look, if we win both of them games, we put a nice little buffer for us in the top 4 zone. So it would be ideal. Look, we start with West Ham today. Hopefully roll them over. And then, like I said, you know, get out your most scuffed shoes you can find because Ollie Gunnar Shoe Shiner will be arriving to town and he's going to just absolutely spit shine them bad boys up for you guys. Look, with United, look, the blueprint is there. Leicester done it, press them high, be aggressive, and they don't want it. You know, they want time to be able to take the time on the ball, nice, silky, smooth football. But you can't do that when Maguire moves like a fridge at the back. So it'll be absolutely brilliant, Dark Sun G. Look, trust me, Dark Sun G, I think we will get the goals, my man. I really do believe it. Everybody, make sure you absolutely obliterate that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And look, why not, like William Kelly, like Dark Sun G, why not send in a super chat, guys? It's a great way to help support the channel. And it just means we get to skip the whole chat and get straight to you and get your comment up on screen and give it a good discussion. Look, let's get into it. You know, Phil, what's your thoughts on today's game?
I'm going to be the negative one. I'm a little bit nervous for today because we've said it's West Ham's cup final. But then if you look at the positives, you had a pretty solid performance last week. All 11 of those guys, that's got to be the starting 11. I can't see him changing anything. They're fresh. They've had a week together. And, you know, they've just got to deliver. I think Brian already said it. None of us really care whether it's the dullest game possible. It's all about the result today. And a win's a win. And with the other results from yesterday, you know, it's such a big opportunity for us. I think Liverpool will do us a favour afterwards. So we've got to seize that moment today.
Yeah, look, I definitely think we will. I definitely think we will. Look, like you said, that the moment is there to be seized, and it's about time. This group of players, this 11. At least now we know our best 11 that they can step up and they can go out there and perform today. Josh, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game?
I'm complete opposite. I'm extremely confident. I think we turn up in these kind of matches. Obviously, it's yeah.
He's Leicester fan. He's not West Ham. He's Leicester.
Oh, is he not?
Lucky man, lucky man.
Yeah, no, but like I'm saying, in my opinion, we turn up to games like this, and I'm glad that Harry Kane just broke his duck last week than it is that, and instead of trying to break his duck today, because if he should score goals. He should score goals. It's gonna be a really really tough game. Don't get me wrong, because West Ham, like we've all said, it's West Ham's cup final. This means a lot to them. Like this, I don't even know where to begin with them. All of my friends are West Ham fans, and if we lose today, or if we, even if we get a point, I'm going to get an inbox on WhatsApp, on Facebook, just ripping the living shit out of me. Like, I can't be having that. Give me some gloating. Give me some gloating power for once. Come on, Spurs. We need the 3 points. We need the 3 points.
And look, Josh, I'm going to go back around the panel with this, but look, we did lose this fixture last season, so tell us Spurs fans why it will be different this time around.
Because we're fresh. We've had a week together, but they didn't even fly over to the Netherlands. Like they've been training. They've had a week together. We're coming off the back of a pretty good win against Newcastle. The confidence has to be high. We've got no injuries either. The only injuries we've got are Matt Doherty and Ryan Sessegnon, which really they ain't going to really be missed, are they? We've got no fresh injuries. We're not missing anyone crucial. We've got a full strength team out there today. I think West Ham are playing basically the same squad they played the other night against Genk, and we're playing a fully fresh team. So I'm hoping they puff out easily, and we can just break them down. There's Højbjerg versus Declan Rice in that CDM position. That's going to be a tough battle for both of them. And I'm hoping Højbjerg just gives him a swift headbutt to the nose and tells him to fuck off. That's just how it is. We need the 3 points today. We need the 3 points.
Josh advertising FIFA Fair Play Awards, left, right, and centre, headbutts and broken legs. Very, mate, you can work on the.
Absolutely love it.
I just hate West Ham. I just hate West Ham.
BX Gunner, he says, what's wrong with Delhi? How can a player with that much talent fall off so bad and not able to regain his best form? Because we don't have Christian Eriksen anymore. That's why, my man. And James Reese says, go West Ham. Yeah, no, F West Ham. That's what I say. I'm not sure. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck West Ham. That's what I say. Apocalypse Now says another big game for another London club. Not bad for a club that hasn't won the league since 61. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Apocalypse Now. Hope things are well. Tango bin Al-Sheed's in the house. And this person says, after Tottenham revealed the 2 players were infected with the new crown, the team was very cautious. Brad Matthews is about to set off to the Olympic Stadium. Brad, honestly, treat it like a safari. Get your nice little ball hat on, the binoculars, the megaphone. It's like a safari today, but you are going to need it. You're going to be furthest back from the pitch than you will in any other Premier League stadium. He says he has never been there before, and he is nervous. Yeah, look, Brad, like I said, megaphone, the ball hat, the binoculars. Even then, you might get to see the game. Look, make sure you stick it to a couple of them West Ham fans game and then West Ham fans first as well. I actually am going to try and make that fixture next year, the away one, hopefully. And I will actually dress up like I'm going on a safari just to piss off the West Ham fans as well. But big up, Brad. I hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you sing the boys to victory. And look, hopefully Harry Kane and Son can stick one in the back of the Hammers net. The glass hammers, the spanners, the scammers, whatever you want to call them. Big yourself up, Brad Matthews. I hope you really do enjoy the game, buddy. Of course, he is a channel regular. He's always on the fan show, so I look forward to hear it from his experience tomorrow. Like Work says, if United beat Liverpool and we beat West Ham, we are top 3. Yeah, look, even if United do beat Liverpool and we still beat West Ham, we're still in the top 3. Because Liverpool will lose. Yeah, I get you. But to be honest with you, I'd actually rather Liverpool beat United so that we'd have 4-point separation between us and United, 4 points between us and West Ham. It just gives us that little bit of grace, like Work, my man. but big yourself up. I really appreciate the support, brother. Shout out to Killian Kenny. He is in the house. And we also have Dark Sun G. He says, we will win because of Skip and Romero and Son and Kane. No, look, it's a bit of a different team. Look, we're more aggressive than what we were last season. We're not as open as we were last season. So, look, hopefully we can take it to them and absolutely stick it to the fuckers because, look, I think every Spurs fan wants to absolutely turn these over today. If we turn these over today, boy, my God, I'm running straight down to the offie. I'm running in, grabbing an absolute 20-pack of cans, and I'm going on one because, look, it's been a while. They embarrassed me last season. I really went for it last season, and I got embarrassed. Well, not embarrassed, just the boys let me down. So hopefully they do turn up today, Dark Sung G. And look, I hope your boy Son gets on. And by the way, your guy Hwang, the South Korean, scoring for Wolves yet again, my man. Dark Sung G's an absolute fire, brother. Can we get him to Tottenham? Let me know, Dark Sung G. But Mr. Daigle, look, like I said, boys, of course, we did lose this game last season. What's different about it this season?
Ollie Skip is different. This I came on your show Monday and I said to me, forget Son and Kane because obviously you know what they do up top. But I think for the whole balance of the squad, our best performances have been when Romero, Skip Højbjerg, and Lucas have been in the squad. They, for balance, for everything, they just cover everything in the middle. And Skip and Romero have made such a difference in these two games. Skip is just he's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. For me, he's on the plane. If he carries on like this, he's going to the Qatar World Cup next year without a shadow of a doubt.
Over Calvin Phillips, would you say?
Say again?
Over Calvin Phillips?
No, I'd say over Jordan Henderson.
Over Henderson, yeah.
No, but sure, who are you going to get to organise, the Uno nights and the bingo nights to keep the boys occupied?
We play Uno first. That'll be Skip's job. Skip has to learn his team. So yeah, there's Skip. He can look after the passports and play Uno with them. But yeah, one of the big differences to the last game is Dele Alli. Please God, will be nowhere bloody near the stadium. In fact, if he is, he can. I'll tell you what he can do. He could be the ball boy between the goal and the fans. Because it will take him. He does a lot of running now, doesn't he? So he can really work on that. That's all he's good for.
Sharp sprint spraying, huh?
Exactly. Or he can just run around the track all day just because he can run 11 kilometres during the game.
Or we can give him a guitar and he can play some Deli Marley for us.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's no coincidence again. And why I say Ollie Skip so much is it's no coincidence that our best two performances have been when Skip is in, and our worst have been when Dele and Skip is out and Dele is in. So I'm very confident with the back four. Even with Dyer, listen, we all know what he's capable of. But if you look at it against Villa, he was good when I was there. And up until that mistake, if he had made that mistake, everyone would have been saying Dyer had a great game. But because he made that one mistake, it's like, Dyer again, Dyer. And he warrants both. We just need to try and find a way to stop him doing these. Like, even if you take him off after 80 minutes, like we do with... Like we do with Ndombele for 60, although let's see. Now, this is the game where we'll see what this team is made of. I think the last two games, we went 1-0 down to Newcastle, and obviously we went ahead in Villa, but then we equalised, and our mental strength and attitude got us over the line. Well, this game is going to be a huge test of that. A huge test of that. And if we can keep our mentality straight, then I think we will win it.
Yeah, no, good points there, I have to say. Good points. Look, for me, it is going to be an incredibly hard game. Look, we did lose this fixture last season, but look, the crowd will also be against us. They're going to try and create a really loud atmosphere, an intimidating atmosphere. The Bubble Bandits will be in full voice, but look, it's up to us to turn them over in their own cup final. I want to see us walk out there with smiles on our face and really enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the London Derby rather than going out there being scared. Our attitude has to be right from the off. We have to match them physically. We have to match their work rate as well. We cannot concede the first goal or an early goal, in my opinion, because of how tight West Ham are and how stingy they are at the back. They don't give you much space in the final third. That, I do think, we can't afford to be letting, because we're giving them something to hold on to. Look, we need to win the midfield battle. Skip and Højbjerg have to be physical in there. They have to match the intenseness that Soucek and Declan Rice do bring. And unlike the war zone that Harry Winks actually thought he was in on Thursday night, this actually will be a war zone. So, we need to also stop Antonio and Benrahma. Romero has to mark Antonio out of the game, in my opinion. We need to press them high and stop the balls into Antonio at source. And we need to be switched on from the start. We need to be switched on from set pieces. West Ham are big and physical and have scored a couple of goals already this season from set pieces. We have to keep the ball and we have to be composed on it as well, or we risk handing them the 3 points in today's derby. We need to also hopefully Ndombele and Kane can turn up to the party. As we already know, Son and Lucas will. So I do think we need Kane and Son to turn up today and maybe find that big consistency. We also have to be able to break this Moyes team down and create chances. And that's where the possession comes into it. We have to be able to hold possession for long periods of sustained pressure in their half. It is going to be tight. So it's not going to be, it shouldn't be as easy as just one ball in behind. I do think you're going to have to play around with it in their half and try and open up the space. So it's important that we do keep possession and create them chances as well. We have a super chat here from, we have a couple. I may get to them. So that's my feelings on today's game and everything that we need to do. William Kelly says, just off the beaten track, but I hope Nuno plays the same team in the next Conference Cup game in front of our fans at home. I want to see what would happen to these Deadwood if they play like that again. Look, I'll be honest with you. I actually think he got it spot on, to be honest with you, during the week. Look, that's a team of 9 full internationals. They should be going out there and beating Vitesse Arnhem. You can't put that on the manager. You can't even make Scarlett a scapegoat because the lumping long ball up to him. You could have had Laurenti up there and he wouldn't have been able to do it with it either. It was absolutely shocking. Look, I agree with you. I would put them out there and let the fans know, and hopefully the fans let them know exactly what they think of him. Because, look, I know they rolled out Harry Winks and the old feel sorry for me, I'm Harry, I'm not confident, I need a run of games and all this malarkey. And it just shows to me that the reason why he is where he is because he just does not understand. I actually don't think he has anything up here with him. I genuinely don't. He's talking about a run of games and it's kind of like, Harry, you have to play well to be able to get a run of games. Like, a run of games coincides with you actually finding form. You've been at Tottenham for how long and you still have no confidence? It's absolutely ridiculous. And the thing is rather than come out and just own up to it, same as Ben Davies, that BT interview was disgusting. The pitch was bad. Both teams had to play on it, but just for Tottenham, it was bad. The crowd was intimidating, which they should be getting used to by now, especially heading to European away games. The referee wasn't on our side. Look, I agree with that, to be honest with you, but as a professional footballer, I'm not going to be blaming the referee. Things go against you. That's why you show the desire, determination to go and get the job done. And look, honestly, he was short of blaming his next door neighbour for mowing the lawn at 8 a.m. That's honestly that's the next thing I was expecting him to go to. It's ridiculous. The problem is with some of these players, there's no accountability. They'd rather throw the manager under the bus and then bring in another manager because it means they'll get another chance, which they're going to waste. At the end of the day, we have to now, in my opinion, I actually think now we have to stand by Nuno and not let these guys throw them under the bus because they have put unnecessary pressure on Nuno today. Kane, Son, and the rest of the boys going out there today, unnecessary pressure on them. That should have been a routine win. I grew up watching Tottenham with Harry Kane making a debut with Conor Alglive and all these other youngsters with some backup brigade, and we were slapping teams 4 or 5-0. Why? Because the attitude was right, the desire was right, and they were responsible for, at the end of the day, for their own actions. But some of these players, they're not. And I was actually, honestly, I was seething when I seen them roll out Harry Winks with the big old sorry me, trying to soften the blow on the game. Let's roll out a Tottenham boy and get everyone to feel sorry for him. I'm not buying it, William. I'm not buying it, but I agree. Let's send them out there and let at home and let them know what the crowd think of them. That's what I reckon. Because honestly, they're just embarrassing our club at every opportunity these fuckers get. William Kelly, I'm still looking for Skips, Irish Granny. What a player, what a difference he has made to our midfield. Look, I agree. Hopefully there's an Irish Granny in there somewhere, Grandad, whatever it may be. Don't worry, there's definitely one from the back arse of Donegal or the back arse of Kerry somewhere that moved over and had a child and everything else. I can definitely feel it, William. Look, believe it or not, we could have had Harry Kane at play for Ireland. Wayne Rooney could have had him play for Ireland. There's all Irish connections there. They just don't want to play for us, my man. I'll be honest with you, I don't blame them. But we've got a good group of youngsters now, and we are on the way up, William. We are on the way up. But look, hopefully, when you do find that granny, let me know. I'm also searching, my man. And Dark Sun G says, I want to beat West Ham so they would realise their stress against Man City for the Carabao Cup. If West Ham can beat City, I hope they face Chelsea. Look, it's a big ask for them to beat City. I'll be honest, I would like them to knock out City and then maybe knock out another big team along the way, because it just makes it easier for us to get our hands on a trophy. So that would be nice, Dark Sun G, my man. That would be nice. Look, I just want to smash them so bad. I know you do. I know everyone does. I can feel it already. And Dark Sun G says, Harv McCandy waiting to find John and Amoli on the subs. I don't think it will happen today. I think you see Gill, Bergvine, Lascelles. So I don't want to see Dele Alli and Winks or Davies on there. I think they should be punished, to be honest with you. But look, Dark Sun G, I do want these players given a chance in the next game in the Europa Conference League. I can tell you that, my man. Definitely 100% I want to see them being given a chance, my man. But big yourself up. Look, let's get into the next part of the discussion, boys. Where are we? Yeah, so look, we'll start with Josh. Josh, we have found it hard in North London derbies of late. We've been outfought, we've been outrun, and we've been outplayed. Why is this happening, and how do we stop the rot in London derbies?
I don't think the motivation's been right for a start, and I think it's you have to look at the circumstances as well. Like the past couple of years haven't exactly been the best for us when we've had a striker that doesn't know whether he's coming or going. We don't know if we're going to be stuck with we don't know if he's going to be here in the summer. We got a team that's riddled with injuries, like when we're missing players, and then we have the whole COVID situation, which was really hard for every team. Like you got to look at the greater circumstances as to why that's happening. But what's happened previously doesn't really matter today, because what happens today, what matters is what happens today. History is nothing. What happened in the past happened in the past. We can't sit there and dwell on that. What we need to worry about is how we're going to go out there and win the 3 points today. And I think if the motivation is right, and the team's head is in the right place, then there's nothing stopping us turning these over quite easily, especially away from home. I think it'll be a massive statement to make to say, look, we are Tottenham. Fuck off. If we seriously just do if we do some damage to them today. Yeah, hopefully. And look, Phil, why do you think we haven't turned up in any of the London derbies, especially this season? We played 3 and lost 3.
I still think there's some form of deep-rooted problem with their mentality, because player for player, we should have won all of those. Well, maybe not the Chelsea, but the other 3 we should have been there. But I don't know whether it's a confidence thing. I genuinely don't know. But this is the time for them to be, looking at what they've got, what they can do, and just stepping up to it, because. Like I say, the 2 positives are we went a goal down at Newcastle and they stepped back. Then Aston Villa equalised, and most of us were there thinking, "Oh God, here we go." But they didn't. They stepped on. So it looks at the moment like there's a sort of slight change in that mentality. But that's what they've got to take into today, without a doubt.
100%. And Dega, look, what's your verdict on London derby so far this season?
Well, you just got to look at the. Let's go for it in order. The Arsenal one, they played 4 new players. We played none, and 9 were from the Poch era. Lack of accountability through that 20-year cycle, and literally, you've got to remember there's no. We've gone on about strength in depth for ages, but whereas these games, like especially Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham, these games mean everything to us supporters, but to them. It's just like, it's West Ham, it's Arsenal. They're so blasé about it now. These are the games where you put in a performance. It doesn't matter. Listen, if you lose, but you give 100% in these games, we'd be annoyed. We'd be very annoyed, but we can see you put in a performance and it just didn't work. So Arsenal, that's why. Chelsea, when they can make substitutions, like when I was at the Chelsea game, I didn't even realise for the first half that Kante wasn't even on the starting lineup. Because I missed the starting lineup when I heard, and then I got out and they just kicked off. And it's like he came on, and within 8 minutes, it's within 8 minutes it's 2-0 game done. And again, lack of accountability.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace. I mean, Crystal Palace was all went hill when Dyer went off. It all went downhill when Dyer was off. And obviously, this is the one game where I put a lot of blame on Nuno just because he didn't make the substitutions.
Yeah.
And he had the options there. So I wouldn't say it was a lack of strength depth in that game. He could have changed that.
Yeah.
He changed it in the Arsenal game, but obviously he brought Skip on and Dele off and Ndombele.
But you know what? I actually blame him for the Arsenal one as well, Diego, because he should have started Skip. Everyone else knew to start him.
Yeah, but again, I don't know what he's trying to do. Maybe because it was his first North London derby away, he was like, you know what, this game could be whatever. Which obviously you shouldn't really do when it's a player like him. So yeah, again, it just goes down to lack of depth. We don't, you know, when you look at that Arsenal one, I keep going at that Arsenal one. I go back to not just because of how shocking the performance was, the fact that they had 4 new players out, and we had none, and 9 of them were from the Poch. It just goes to show that Nuno doesn't really. The squad is so limited, and that's why I think now he is like, right, I cannot trust. I cannot take these guys to Europe because I cannot trust these guys, and I can't risk anything happening to this 11. I've got to keep them fit for all Premier League games at least. I mean, someone put in the comments earlier when you said about Divine and everyone on the bench. I want to see Divine start in the Carabao Cup instead of Ali, because I love Alfie Divine. I honestly think
he's listening. He's loving
He's going to be an absolute superstar. Like, I think he is going to be literally. We're talking huge. I mean, one of the biggest players.
I actually heard you say that. I actually think before the Marine game.
I said it way before the Marine game. I've been saying it since we signed him. And I keep saying when people say who's the youngster coming through that you think it's going to be, is it Harvey White? Is it this? Is it that? Alfie Divine, I'm telling you now, is going to be one of the most important players we've had in a very, 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 very long time for both England and Tottenham.
Another player I want to throw in the mix on is in the youth team, who's going to come up and be a star. I genuinely think Alfie Whiteman has got a genuine chance of becoming our number one in time and doing well as well. So, but yeah, no, I fully agree there. I fully agree. Divine's definitely a future star. But
look, the thing is, lads, we've got a great crop of youngsters. You've got Divine, you've got White, you've got Pascozzi, you've got Scarlett, and there's more there. I'm missing out on McCandy. Look, obviously not all of them are going to make it, but with Skip and Tanganga already in the team, you now have a chance to be able to try and get some of these guys through and really create like what United created with the class of 91 and stuff like that. You can sort of create a Tottenham team with 3 or 4, if not 5 homegrown players in it. And I think that's what we need at Tottenham. I'll be honest with you. I think it's a massive part of why we haven't really turned up to London games. Look, obviously the mentality's been crap. It hasn't helped that Jose Mourinho couldn't find his best 11. Obviously Nuno now is only starting to find his best 11 after 3 London derbies and what players he can and can't rely on. But look, we haven't been, over the last couple of years, we haven't been able to change the game from the bench because we just haven't had the players. We've had, the likes of Winks and Davies, Doherty, Aurier, all these sort of players, Sissoko, all in the starting lineup. And, look, the heads just drop. I do think this is a different team with a different mentality. And hopefully they can go out and prove that today. I really hope so. I want to see them turn up today. I want to see them come out with their little toothpicks and start popping bubbles as soon as they walk out. Look, for me, not turning up in these London games is a massive problem. It's embarrassing for every single one of us fans. It's absolutely embarrassing. We get absolutely pelters. Today, it's about not being afraid, going out there, right attitude, right mentality, and being at it from the very off. Because make no mistake about it, West Ham are going to get us early. And it's going to keep happening until we can prove that we will not fold inside the first 10 minutes. Because I've seen it. We've gone behind too early. Or we're looking rattled from the very off. Vitesse started early against us. Aston Villa came at us from the off. Newcastle came at us from the off. It's going to keep being repeated until we can stop the rot. So we need to go out there from the very first minute and be on the ball. William Kelly says, Davey, it's time for if it was me, I would cancel Davies and Winks contracts. It would send a massive statement to the rest of the squad. I'll be honest with you, I would too. Honestly, I would have cancelled them a long time ago. I do not rate these guys. I never have done. And I don't think you'll ever hear me say anything good about them because they do not deserve it. I cannot accept a player that is happy to sit at Tottenham and be a backup for 8 years in Ben Davies. That is not a mentality that you need at Tottenham. You need someone there that is going to push Regan on for that starting position. You want someone that is not going to accept being a backup. So already, that's a shit mentality. You wonder why Davies caused a goal against Antwerp. You wonder why he was absolutely crap against Pacos. You wonder why he was shit against Colchester. You wonder why he was shit the other night. Because he's happy to play the backup games. Oh, it's my time, no bother, gaffer. I go out there and run about. And it's all he does. It's literally all he does. Even then, he doesn't even run about. You look, at times I see the ball, honestly, I've seen the ball go down his side so many times. I'm like, where's Ben Davies? And I'm looking in the crowd and looking beside the lines. I'm like, where's Ben? And all of a sudden, he pops out from behind Eric Dyer. And it's like, what are you doing, you numbskull? You know what I mean? What are you doing? With Harry Winks, look, everyone knows my opinion on this guy. I've been saying it from the very first time I appeared on We Are Tottenham TV. He is crap. He's not good enough. He doesn't like physical contact. He cannot pass a ball forward. And it's unforgivable to be looking like he's in the middle of World War II, 20 minutes into a game against Vitesse Arnhem. It is not good enough. The guy needs to leave Tottenham. And the fact that he's only woke up now and he's like, oh, well, I have 2 months to save my Tottenham sort of career. It's kind of like, well, I thought you would have woke up 2 years ago, Harry. You know, it's a bit late now. You know, and this is why he needs to go. Another one. He's been happy up until now to be a backup player. It is not good enough to have to go. And William Kelly, I would have cancelled him along with Arias, brother. I really would have. I really would have cancelled him along with Arias and sent out a massive statement. It's good to see MS in the house. Morning, gents. No Gillen till 75th minute. He is so light. Hand players would kick him to death. I can feel Kane will relish today. Son is always up for it. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg skip hunting it in packs. And Lucas is magic. Come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, my man. Look, you know, Josh, I suppose we're expecting the same team versus Newcastle.
Yeah, 100%. But again,
we're fully Dyer out. Put someone else in, or
do you know what? I've actually been impressed with Dyer the past couple of weeks. The past couple of games he's played, I think he's played decent, and I don't really think that there's anyone you could put in the centre back pairing with him that's gonna make the same kind of impact that he has the past couple of weeks. I mean, Sanchez was absolutely dire at the weekend, and I'm hoping he doesn't even step foot on the pitch. Tanganga, I mean, you could play him in that role, but I don't see it happening. So I think, and Joe Rodon, I don't think he's right for this kind of fixture. So there's not really anyone else you can put in that position. But no, I wouldn't take Dyer out. But the only thing we've got going for us is that we have a fully fresh team. Like they haven't played for over a week. They've been training together. They didn't travel together. They didn't travel with the second team over to the Netherlands. Their mentality, their focus has been on this game. And that is exciting to see, the fact that we've actually got our head in the game rather than elsewhere. So I'm seriously hoping that the team really do business today, genuinely.
Couldn't agree more. And look, Phil, same to you. Do you think Nuno could surprise a change? Because look, I'll be honest with you, he's kind of surprised me with some of the lineups this season. Or do you think it is now a case he has found his 11 and there won't be any changes to it?
Without a doubt, I think the last couple, even if you take Thursday night, I think even if he was thinking maybe one of these can step in, I think that told him everything. I think his first 11 and his formation, he's found that now. And now we just got to look at, you know, who you're going to bring in for those changes, what the difference is going to be. But yeah, first 11 wise, without a doubt, I would be absolutely shocked if there were any changes from the starting match against Newcastle.
Interesting. And Daigle, yourself, would you make any changes, or would you keep same 11, or do you think Nuno will make changes?
It's got to be the same 11. If like we were saying now. People were saying, is the pressure back on Nuno for his choices Thursday? No.
I'll get onto that in a while.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if he makes a change to that 11 and it's one of those people that played in Vitesse, then he's creating a rod for his own back. It's like, why are you doing that? You've kept these players fresh for a reason. What, unless there's an injury. There's an injury, obviously, it makes total sense. But yeah, I don't think you could change that team. I think he's literally found 11 players he can trust, and he's only going to use them for the Premiership. I mean, Carabao Cup on Wednesday. You see what he does, but then he's got game management because he's got to think about United. Because get a good result here and then get a good result against United, then we're laughing. Like that'll be a nice gap from them. So yeah, I can't see anything but the same team. I'm going to turn my camera off because I'm going for a cigarette, but I'm still here.
Yeah, work away, my man. Look, it's early morning. You know, everyone needs something to wake up. I flooded the tea into me. You know, fresh tea this morning. But look, guys, we are an hour in already. Wow, it's absolutely flying by. Time flies when you're having fun. That's what they say. You know, this is the best hangover cure in the world, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, definitely.
Make sure everyone absolutely smashes that like button. Make sure everyone is obliterating that like button. Or I already said that. Make sure everyone smashes the subscribe button if you are new. And look, why not send in a super chat or two to help support the channel, guys? You know, and look, it's a great way to skip out all the comments and get to the very top. Look, sometimes there's that one donut. It's got that special glazing. It's got that nice cherry on top with a jam filling. You know, there's a kid in front talking about it, and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to pick something else. There's nothing else that takes your fancy. So you pay the kid an extra $5 to fuck off, and you take that donut. So look, guys, you know, basically what I'm saying is you know, if you really want something, you know, get that super chat in, get it sent in, and we will get straight to it and answer anything that you guys have to say. And as well, they are usually great talking points as well, guys. Usually some great talking points. And we'll go to Philip. Phil, the midfield battle will be very important. I actually believe whoever comes out on top will win this game. Rice and Souček, they are one of the best midfield partnerships in the Premier League. What can Skip and Højbjerg do to cause them a problem and come out on top?
I think they just need to do what they've done every time they've played and just make sure they step up. They both got the passion in there. They both got Tottenham in their blood now. And they just need to make sure that they're on their game. But yeah, you're right. Those two are pivotal for West Ham's, you know, where they've been good this season. Those two are essential. But you could say the same for us. Having those two playing on top form has given us the freedom the last 2 or 3 games to be able to do what we do best. So they're absolutely so essential to our team. Those two.
Yeah, and how do you think they're going to cope with like Skip and Rice? Because they're intense. They don't give you a minute. They're incredibly hard working and they're very aggressive. They're big boys too, you know. And the two of them do like to arrive late. So, you know, how important is it that Skip and Højbjerg do track their runs? But again, what can they do to get on top?
Well, they obviously they've been training all week. Will have watched some of the pre-games. They would have watched some of the West Ham stuff. But I think I don't know whether they just go man for man and they watch. You know, they just make sure they're on it. If they watch the runs, they watch what they do. I mean, I haven't watched an awful lot of West Ham this season, not by any stretch. But everything they've done that's good, that they've had those two to do it. So you know, if Skip is there just marshalling that defence and in front of them, and then you got Højbjerg making his runs and just doing those interceptions and all of that's just absolutely critical for us today to be able to perform. It pretty much starts with them, because even if they get through them, they then got to get past the man mountain Romero. You know he's going to be there today. So I think that the link between those, where Romero's coming out and stepping up and everything, is just absolutely critical for us.
Yeah, no, that it is. And Josh, you know, again, you know, do you think our boys can come out on top today in that midfield battle? And do you believe, you know, they have to be able to win this game today?
I mean, we know that the partnership of Højbjerg and Skip is good, but today will be the first big test for them. Like, you have to take into consideration, Rice and Souček have been playing for the best part of over a season together. This is Skip's first season with Højbjerg, so today is going to be the big test for him. Is this partnership really going to work? I want to say yes. But I have to be realistic in the sense of Souček and Declan Rice is a formidable defensive pairing. Yeah, it's a defensive midfield pairing, and they are going to be very, very hard. We know that. I mean, Souček scores goals. Declan Rice makes plays.
He can score.
Yeah, I mean, he's got in 46 appearances since 2020. Since he actually signed with West Ham, he scored 11 goals. That's more than some Premier League strikers. Like you got to take that into consideration. And Declan Rice, he finds himself in space and he can make plays, and he can assist goals.
Yeah,
I mean, we know that Højbjerg's got it in his locker to whack a beauty, and we've seen it. Skip was a crucial part of Norwich's team last season as well. Man of the match performances near enough every time that he played. But again, together, this is the first big test for them. And I'm seriously hoping that we can actually do something against them. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
No, it definitely will. It definitely will. And look, Daigle, can you see the two boys being able to get the better of that formidable partnership of Rice and Souček? And look, maybe just a bit different. Do you think that Højbjerg and Skip can be better than Rice and Souček?
So first of all, I think it's only going to work if they stick to the 4-2-3-1. I don't want to see it back to the 4-3-3 because that's where things go wrong all over the pitch. And obviously it limits Kane to performing like he did last Sunday. Listen, I honestly think Højbjerg and Skip could be one of the best partnerships in the Premier League. Literally, they're that good. We know Højbjerg is, and Skip doing what he's done has allowed Højbjerg to go and do what he's doing up front a bit more, which is obviously helping Tanguy a lot more because Tanguy can do what he did against Newcastle. So it's not that they could just be the best two; it's what they're doing for the other players.
Yeah.
It's what they're doing for the other players, which goes down to balance as well. And we've got to remember now with West Ham, we say it's their cup final. You got to remember years ago, Arsenal used to be our cup final, but then we got to where we were, and it was more of this ain't a cup final anymore. This is like a Jets. So with West Ham at the moment, unfortunately, they are right up there, which we wouldn't have thought for ages, but they are. And I think the whole game is won between those two pairings of Rice and Souček. Is it Souček?
Yeah, Rice and Souček.
Yeah, Rice and Souček. I can remember Souček or Soufal. Soufal's a right back, isn't it? And Højbjerg and Skip. That's how vital. When they say the games will be won in midfield, I honestly think whoever gets the best out of those two wins it. But I want Ollie Skip to get booked today. And the only reason I say I want him to get booked today because that means he's suspended for the Burnley game. And then obviously he's got a suspension out the way, and it's not going to be coming into November or December where we've got games coming thick and fast. So if he can pick up like a late booking, there's people that say they sometimes get booked intentionally just to like they say at Christmas time, oh look, I'm going to be suspended for Boxing Day. Oh look at that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind him picking up a cheeky little yellow like in the 86th minute or something, just to rule him out of Burnley. Then we've got him for the run-in. So, but yeah, those two that battle is absolutely crucial.
No, I agree with you. Look, I do agree with you. Look, we were given an easy ride against Newcastle. That midfield was given an easy time. But one thing Skip and Højbjerg have proven is time and time again, they will absolutely put in the shift. They will look to get in there, turn ball over. They'll be aggressive. They'll put pressure on them. They won't give them time to settle in. And I do think, our midfield was probably a massive part of why West Ham came back last year at our ground for the 3-3. I think it's a massive part of why we lost at their ground. We weren't physical enough. We weren't combative enough. And look, we just didn't turn up. So I don't think Skip and Højbjerg will allow that to happen today. I do think they'll turn up. I think they'll actually relish testing their partnership up against Souček and Rice. And I hope that is the case. I do believe they have an awful lot to be able to come up on top. I would love to see Skip up against Rice. I think that would be a fascinating battle. And I'd love to see Højbjerg pull Souček the other way, which is backwards, which is where he doesn't want to go. Souček likes to arrive late in the box. So it'll be very interesting. But I do believe that whoever wins this battle will win the game. Do I want to see Ndombele dropping in there and help them out? No, I do not. I want to leave Ndombele in that cam role, picking up the spaces to be able to receive the ball off Skip and Højbjerg. Because I have to admit, that's why he done great against Newcastle, Ndombele. He doesn't just stay in the one position. It's a bit like Brian Hill. They pull themselves into space and positions where they can receive the ball, which is what any good footballer should be doing. If there's any youngsters out there, it's what every footballer should be doing. You were never taught to stand still and wait there to receive the ball. You were always taught to get yourself in a position to be able to receive the ball. And that's being proactive about going how to try and affect the game. So hopefully, Ndombele, once we do turn the ball over, he is in positions to pick it up because he will cause the mayhem. But look, Skip, I actually do believe we'll make that England team for the World Cup. I can see it coming. I really do see it coming. And look, do you know what? With Højbjerg today, I would actually like to see him just play that holding role. I would like to see him sit in there with Skip, allow our two fullbacks to bomb on, create space wide and high. That means you can get Lucas to kind of come in. That means you're creating space for Son to keep cutting inside. And that means you have Ndombele in there as well. And then you have Kane, who then should be able to just stay up top, and we should be able to put balls in there. So, look, I do think it's very, very important today, that midfield battle. MS says, we need our players to knock 7 bells of shit out of them. Come on, you Spurs. No, 100%. Look, absolutely knock 7 shades of shit out of them. I couldn't agree more. Look, I want them. That 3-3 hurt. That hurt. You're sitting there, you're absolutely cruising. Every Spurs fan, was sitting there celebrating. We're all rubbing our hands. We're like, nice one. You know what I mean? Then the Sanchez own goal come, and you're like, it's coming. You just knew that was coming, especially with that weak team, spineless players. Then the equaliser, unforgivable in my eyes. First of all, Weeks, he kind of like passed it to Lanzini, which, I don't understand. Just put your boot through it. And then I'm sorry, but not to take him out. I don't care. You take them out. I don't care whether you break an ankle, whether you break a leg, or whether you bruise his foot. I couldn't give a shit. You 2-foot that fucker, and you don't allow that to go in. It's a London derby. What does Winks do? Oh, pulls out of it. He won't make the challenge. Absolutely unbelievable. Look, then we went to their ground. We were looking for the revenge. It didn't happen. We just didn't show up. And then our boys decided they'd actually, treat the away fans who did decide to go, to a bit of a 45 minutes to try and salvage the game when it was already too late. So, look, we owe them. They have embarrassed us last season, really did embarrass us. So we owe them, and I want to see the team go out there with that sort of attitude as well. But big up, MS. I really appreciate the super chat, my man. Really.
Let's not forget as well that after that equaliser, Ben and Sim were a meme for about 6 weeks after
That's
that.
another thing. Yeah, they were a meme for ages after that. You're correct. You're correct. So
I don't want to see that happen. I do not want to see that happen. We cannot be the laughing stock of the Premier League. We need to do some damage to these boys today.
Well, I mean, we were top. We were up and around the top and charging, at that point. And then that game happens, and it just sucked the whole life out of the team, It sucked the whole life out of the team for the rest of the season. And we were fragile for the rest of that season after. So today is redemption day. Today is the day where we walk out there, we put London derbies right, we put West Ham back in their place, and we just absolutely keep going out and getting the results and push on from here. Nuno has found his best team, so let's make it happen. What are you giggling at there, Josh?
Bob Spurs.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Bob Spur TV says, I bet Wink's dad wished he pulled out too. Yeah, I'd say so, Bob. I'd say so. I'd say so. He's probably there slapping around the head every day. You let me down again. Jesus Christ, No, look, Winks' father, I'd say, look, he's probably loving the fact that he's at Tottenham and everything else, you can keep going, son, rather than just be, a tough love and just say, look, you need to improve. But big up, Bob. I couldn't agree more. That's actually a good one. That's a good one. For this time in the morning, Bob, I like it.
That just caught me off guard a little bit, that's all.
This time in the morning. Big up, Bob, my man. I hope things are well, man. Who else have we got here? I suppose, look, we'll keep pushing forward. And we'll go to Josh on this one. Look, Kane and Ndombele, for me, they were the difference makers against West Ham. Can they be the difference makers again today? And also, can they find the consistency to help out Son and Lucas, who have carried us up until now and have performed time and time again?
This is the thing. It's a variable that we have to consider. Like, Harry Kane has just broken his duck against Newcastle. He went seven games without a Premier League goal, and he's finally broken that duck. So hopefully we start seeing him score goals. Ndombele, then we know how Ndombele feels about being at Tottenham. It's clear he doesn't want to be with us. But at the same time, we have to ask the question: is his head in the game now? Is he looking for a season where he plays exceptionally well, so he can get that high money transfer out of Spurs in the summer? That's that. If I'm hoping the answer to both of those questions is yes, they both turn up. They have to both turn up for it to work. I don't see a time where we don't see that happening, to be honest. I love them both very, very dearly, and I seriously hope that they both. I seriously hope they turn up today. But if the Ndombele doesn't turn up and Son does, then we have that partnership of Son and Kane. That's another potential partnership that we can see. There are so many, even Moura and Kane as well. That we both know Moura can score goals, and we both know that he can find himself in space. It's one of them things. As long as Kane has got that support from either the left, the centre, or the right, he's guaranteed to score a goal, and that's the one for me have to take into consideration. That we need that. We need that.
No, 100%. Cody Max in the house. Good morning. 6 a.m. over here. And Spanners need to be reminded of their place in football today. Come on, Spurs. Couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And that place in football, Cody Mack is usually number 13 or 14 in the Premier League. So that's what their place in football is. Phil, look, same to you, you know. Kane and then Ndombele, can they perform today? How crucial is it that they come in and step up today? And you know, can our front four really form a nice tight partnership and maybe kick on?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Josh was just saying, obviously, you know, you're looking at Ndombele and he doesn't want to be there, but he looked, not only was he on fire last week, he looked really happy, smiling. He did the whole 90 minutes. So there's always that hope that he's stepping it up and going, actually, I do want to be here. But either way, he needs to be on form if he wants to transfer out, because we all know that the guy at the top won't be letting him go on the cheap. So he's got to do that. But with regards to today, again, it's another ideal game for him because he can just float and drop in wherever he wants. Then got Moura and Son either side of him with, you know, the world's best striker right ahead of him. So it's all to play for me.
Well, you said it yourself. You said we hope that he turns up, and that's all we can do. All we can do is hope. And he may have been looking happy, and he may have played the full 90, but again, that could just be a front. Like look at Payet when he was at West Ham. Just because he didn't want to be there doesn't mean he wasn't going to turn up every week, did it? No. He was still going to turn up. Like you're a footballer. Your job is to play football.
Yeah, and if you don't, do you know what the difference is there? Payet turned up from the very start. We've been waiting nearly 3 seasons for him.
Well, this is true. Yeah, this is true. But I mean, we're a hard team to break into. But there's a lot of fight from all the players. Well, not so much now because we have 2 teams really. But they used to when the Ndombele first joined. There was a lot of fight. You had to fight for your position, and it was very difficult with West Ham. Like Dimitri Payet fell in straight away because there wasn't really anyone in his position that was as good as him.
Yeah.
But again, for me. I think it was all a bit of a front. You can get on well with your teammates. That's the least that we expect from you. But what we don't see is what happens in the back room, what happens in the dressing room, what happens upstairs in the office. We don't see all that. What we see is what we see on the pitch.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Dark Zone G with the super chat. He says, Coco, Oscar, GPS and Delhi was used the last time away. This time, hopefully, those 3 Coco already gone won't be used. Hopefully, Tanguy won't be used as a CDM. Look, Dark Zone G just goes kind of a bit to what Brian was saying. He doesn't want to see this 4-3-3. Neither do I. I don't want Nuno to shit the bed. The 4-2-3-1 works. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. There is no need to put Ndombele into a 3 and kind of take the rhythm away from Son, Lucas, and Kane as well. It just upsets the team. No need to do it. And look, you know, hopefully no Doherty. Look, well, he's not because he's out injured, so that's a good thing. You know, he can't come in and affect us in a negative way. Sanchez, I'll be honest with you, I can't see him starting after Thursday. He was bad Thursday. You know, at times there was balls coming over his head. And look, he was back to GPS, wasn't he? Really, Dark Sun G, you know. Look, of course, no Lamela here. But one thing I will say about Lamela, at least he ran his bollocks off. You know, at least he tried. It was the rest of the players that, you know, that weren't helping him. But look, hopefully today, Højbjerg, Skip, Kane, Lucas, Son, Ndombele, Romero, Emerson, you know, Reguilon, Dyer. Hopefully they can all turn up one cohesive unit, run their absolute melons off themselves and really get this 3 points today and really kick on from here. Because I do believe if we can win today, look, next 2 weeks actually, you know, we've got another Europa Conference League game. We've got the Carabao Cup game. We've got West Ham. We've got Burnley. Then we've got United as well. So, you know, next 2 weeks, it is a bit or do or die. I'll be honest, I think for maybe Nuno, for in terms of what to expect from Tottenham Hotspur this season. We could still be in 2 cups. We could be qualified from the on our way to be qualifying from Europa Conference League into the Carabao Cup the next round and sitting pretty high up the league as well, in the top 4. So it could either be a very good period for us or a very bad period for us, Dark Sun G. Let me know what you think we're going to have, my man. Let me know what you think we're going to have. But Brian, Kane and Dembele, 2 of your favourite subjects. Take it away, my man.
No, like I said, I mean, what we've got to remember with Kane and Dembele is everyone was saying after Newcastle, we should have beaten them. They're so crap. We're so this, they're so that. This should have been an easy win. So you can't say, both those players are back just because they had a great performance against that team that everyone's saying we should have beaten, should have done. Listen, everyone knows how I've been feeling about Kane, and Kane did on Sunday what Kane does in every department. That was the Harry Kane that we've known and grown up with and rely on and whatever. But he needs to do it for a few. If he hadn't done anything in the summer, then we would have said we wouldn't even be having this conversation. He probably had a few more goals. But he had one good game, very good game, as Dembele against a very, very, very weak Newcastle team. And with that game, they had to play the occasion rather than the team.
Yeah.
So that's what they had to do. Well, this one is completely different. Harry Kane, I think, will turn up. I think he will. He may not score, but I think just from that performance, he will now be in the mood. And this is probably the first time since he's come back where he's had time to stay fresh as well. Whilst he is fresh, he hasn't done an extra game in to get minutes. He looks fresh now. So, Ndombele, this is like if Ndombele can play like he's against Newcastle, we win. It's that simple. Because when people said, is he a luxury player, you've kind of got the Rolls Royce or you've got your chauffeur-driven limo, and he's in the chauffeur-driven limo. That's how class this man can be. He is like literally, he is that good if we can just find the right way to use him. Like I said, like we did with Rafa van der Vaart, who we knew wasn't going to defend, but what he would do is run back for the team and get in shape. So at least if we weren't lightweight and left with loads of space. Now, if Ndombele just does that, where the onus isn't on him to bust a gut to get back and just stay in shape, and then when the ball goes live to us, make yourself available. This is where we need to use this guy, because I think we can. It's all about conserving his energy. As we all talk about his energy, and I call him FIFA now because he looks like in the second half he's like someone pushing triangle, and then he's out of energy. So he's like, so we've got to find a way to conserve his energy. And I think again, Skip and Højbjerg. This is what I love about this partnership. They improve so many other players and allow them to do what they do best. Yeah. Rather than having to do things that they don't necessarily do best. So I think if Skip and Højbjerg can do what they do, then both of those players will do what they do.
Absolutely. Love that answer. I love that answer. Bob, it is a question I have in the show. Don't worry, man. We have about another 2 or 3 questions to get to. And so we'll get that answered, my man. We have Oliver Freeman in the house. Big yourself up. Viscas. He says Tottenham have been a 4-2-3-1 team for years. Every time we try something different, it doesn't work. Couldn't agree more. Still costs us 3 London Derby loss. No more. He doesn't want any more. I can't handle any more either. JC says, good morning, panel. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, JC. Hope things are well. Our man Animation's in the house. Must win game. Couldn't agree more. Guys, everyone, there is 200 people in the house right now. Make sure you're absolutely smashing that like button. Make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. Sometimes the chat is getting hot and heavy. Feel free to get your super chats in. Don't worry. I know not everybody is in a position to do it. Some people's bank accounts might be empty after a good night out last night. So do not worry, guys. I got you covered. I promise I will bring everybody's comments up on screen. Dark Sun G says, after Man United is Everton. 1 draw, 1 loss last season. Time for a win. Yeah, look, Everton, I do believe we'll beat them. To be honest, they were absolutely woeful yesterday. They were shocking. They were absolutely shocking, Dark Sun G. 5-2. 5-2 to Watford. Watford, Dark Sun G. Yeah, we should absolutely smack Everton. No excuses. They were all over the place at the back yesterday. All over the place, Dark Sun G. And he also says against West Ham and Everton, 3 points for both games. Yeah, 100% should be. Look, hopefully 6 points, my man. And look, that's what we want from them at the end of the day, isn't it, Dark Sun G? hopefully we can do it. Any stats for me, though, Dark Sunji? Look, you're usually a man of stats. You usually have one or two there. You're usually sitting there with your 10 computers getting up some stats, Dark Sunji. So do put one in, my man. Do put one in. Look, for me, Kane, I do think. Look, I think the Mac is back. I'll be honest with you. I do think he's going to turn up today. I do think he's going to score. Last week, he most of his, I said before the game, most of his goals against Newcastle did come at St. James's Park, and he did score. This week, it's a bit different. Most of his goals against West Ham have actually come at home, but I do think he'll turn up today. He owes us, for being missing for the early part of the season, and today is where we need Harry to really come in and step up. We really do. So, look, hopefully Harry can come in and do it. We need him to be fighting for every ball. Look, one thing with Harry, if the ball does come into feet, he's going to take it in. But another thing I want to see more of Harry Kane is making them runs in behind, making them little runs when the ball is out wide, making the run across the defender to try and get on the end of something. Sometimes I do think Kane can be a bit static or kind of like waiting behind the defender, waiting for something to happen. He needs to be getting across his man and try and get a touch on it and hopefully flicking in. But look, Ndombele will be a massive part whether Kane turns up today or not, in my opinion. I do think Ndombele, I think he had a great game against Newcastle. I would love to see the same Ndombele again. Look, for me, I think Ndombele completely dictated that game. He dictated the tempo. He dictated whether we were going to attack Newcastle quick or whether we were going to try and hold on to the ball for a few minutes. I thought it was absolute excellence. So hopefully Skip and Højbjerg can get the job done in midfield so that we can get the very best out of Ndombele, because the last thing we want is Ndombele trunching around the pitch, trying to win the ball back. It's not his sort of game. We cannot afford to put him into that sort of position. We need him, on the ball. And look, hopefully when he gets on the ball, Lucas, Son, Kane just make them runs. Ndombele will find you. But what Ndombele also brings is he can shoot from outside the box. We don't have too many players that like to do that. So he brings that threat in and around the edge of the box, whether it's a dink in behind for somebody, whether it's skinning a player, whether it's, because he's so tricky, they fear of bringing him down. And he also has a good shot. So he brings that extra bit of danger from that position. I think it'll be absolutely crucial for Harry Kane. Hopefully him and Harry Kane can form that partnership. Look, we already know Kane will do his usual link-up play with Son. We already know Lucas is going to get on the ball, drive us up the field. That is certain. Two things you can guarantee. But hopefully today, we can see all four of them come together and really smack this West Ham team. Hopefully that is the case. But I do, like I said, I do believe our midfield will be the ones that give us that springboard for that. If the midfield don't win the battle and the defence is not composed on the ball, it's going to be an awful long day for Harry Kane and Ndombele. An awful long day for them. So hopefully we can turn the ball over in that midfield. Jackson G with the super chat says West Ham and everything caused Jose's sack last year. Look, I'll be honest with you. It's the players that caused this sack. The little whiny moan bag little babies that we have. Look, we got rid of a lot of them this summer. Hopefully we can get rid of the last few now this January. But look, I'll be honest with you. For me, it's the players that got him the sack. They just didn't care. They just do not care. Look, honestly, you see some of the same players trying to throw Nuno under a bus now, because they're not in the first team and they're not happy with it. So they're going to go out and put in shit performances like that and try and get another manager sacked. We as Spurs fans are in serious danger of actually going down Arsenal's route, where we will be stuck with someone like an Arteta, and you're going to be stuck with it because no one else will want to come because the pure mess your club will be in. For me, we cannot allow these players to throw Nuno under a bus. We have to stick by him and start putting the onus on some of these players' doors. Stop making excuses for some of these lightweight players. If we want to win trophies, if we want to get to top four, we should be able to rely on the likes of a Harry Winks or a Ben Davies. We should be able to rely that even if they are on the bench, that they're going to come in and give it their all. You can't guarantee that. So they're a hindrance to the team. We cannot allow them to get another manager sacked out of Tottenham Hotspur, because we already seen the effects of sacking Jose and Pochettino, two world-class managers. We're stuck with someone like Nuno, So imagine how worse it's going to get after that. Look, Nuno, I do think he is finding his feet. He's found he's 11 going forward, and hopefully we can push on now. But big up, Dark Sunji. I really, really do appreciate the support, brother. What a man. Look, we'll go to Brian on this and work our way back. Brian Mikel Antonio, he leads West Ham in goals with 5. He's also got 3 assists. He's tied for 3rd place in top goal scorer this season in the Premier League and tied for 5th in the Premier League with the most assists. He has the most key passes in the entire West Ham squad, the most shot-creating actions, and the most players dribbled past. How do you stop Mikel Antonio, and who can stop him?
He's an animal. He's an animal. He's an absolutely incredible player. And you missed out the stat that he always bloody scores against us. Always.
Yeah, he does actually. That's true.
I mean, I remember the season when we were going for the league. I think it was the first one with Leicester, when he scored 1-0 right near the end of the season I think it was the last season at Upton Park. And he just always bags a goal. And now he's gone up top because he wasn't always their main striker. He was like an attacking midfielder kind of thing. He has really found his place. He has strength, he has power, he has pace, and he's the goal that he scored, the winner against Leeds. All right, it was but it's the way he took that goal. He's got such confidence in him now, and I think like someone said in the chat as well, you've got to put Romero on him. You've got to, and that's not a jibe or a jab at Dyer. I love his aggression. And there's one thing you've got to be with Antonio is aggressive, because he will just literally do what Drogba did, just roll you out, or he'll just literally make you his bitch. And we really don't need it. You thought you'd put Dyer up there because of the power, but he won't. We know he's got a mistake, and right now, 3 years ago, Antonio, you can make a mistake and it might not lead to anything. Well, now up front, and if you make a mistake, he's going to punish you. The kind of form he's in, he will punish you. So he is a massive problem. And then it looks like he's adding creativity to it as well. So he's got to be watched. I mean, that's probably where you'll get Skip dropping in a little bit deeper as well, just to give that space, that help to Romero and Dyer. But that's the way you do it. Skip being more disciplined like he has been recently, and seeing danger his eye for seeing danger is incredible. So Romero's got to be on him, and Skip's got to have a 360 vision today, because he's going to be needed everywhere.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Big up Paul Markey. Paul Markey's in the house. He says discount sale on all these required to clean the club up. Doherty, Dyer, Davies, Deli, Bergwijn, and still doubts about Galini and Royale. Get these out and bring in proper players. Paul Markey will have nobody left, lad. We'll have absolutely nobody left. No, look, I do agree with you with Doherty, Davies, Deli, Dyer as well. Bergwijn, look, I'll be honest with you, I don't think we'll cut the mustard, but I'm willing to give him at least a bit longer. Galini,
I don't really think he's been given a chance, mate, to be honest. I don't
exactly. Bergwijn hasn't at all.
I don't think I think in order to see the best out of Bergwijn, you need to give him a continuous string of games.
Well, I mean, he had a continuous string of games under Jose. Where was the end product?
Yeah, the right back, though, David. Most of it.
Right mid.
I don't think he's been given a chance.
So the way I look at Bergwijn is, if we go back to when he signed, obviously he came on and he had that wonder debut and that wonderful goal against City. Then we played Villa away, and he got the penalty. He was creating runs. He was powerful. And then COVID happened. Then he got an injury. Then he had a kid, which obviously we know doesn't make a difference. But obviously, when COVID was, I think COVID, not obviously was huge for everyone, but for these foreign players, not just in our country but around the world, that couldn't have their family come over and help them settle. I think it had a huge thing to do with it. I know Holland is so close and whatever. But when you come to a new country and you don't know anyone, going home to an empty hotel room or house or whatever, so he had to do that. And then literally he started playing at right. He played right wing back occasionally for Jose. He also did play up front a bit more, and his confidence was shot to bits, especially after that Liverpool game and the abuse he got. Like Josh said, I think he needs to have 10 to 15 games in a row playing in his preferred position, and then judge him, because I still think, I mean, we all talk about that little showboating you did against Wolves. Now that's what he's capable of. That's what this guy is capable of.
But that's the first thing we've kind of seen from him in 3 seasons, though. This is his 3rd season, and that's the best highlight reel we have from a guy.
Yeah, no, you're right on that point. But again, it's because he hasn't been given a consistent amount of time. Yeah, he had consistent games last season, but it was a right wing back, right midfield. Now you're doing this, and you got to remember he's had three managers, because he didn't come under Poch. And he's like, what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, I take all your points on board. I think they are valid. But look, Brian, you know what I'm like. I'm a bit more old school. I'm a bit more tougher. Look, for me, I'll be honest with you. I think every other player across the world has had to deal with what you were saying there, babies, COVID, everything else. Look, Kane deals with it. Son deals with injuries. They still come out and perform. Look, with Bergwijn, I do think he looks a bit lost. I'll be honest with you. I just don't see it there. I don't think he has that cutting edge quality in the final third. That's just my opinion on it. I have stated this for a while. I don't think he will make it. Don't get me wrong. I hope he absolutely shuts me up, and I hope he does make it. I hope he does prove himself. I just do not see it. I do not see it. I get it. He played well against Wolves. He had that bit of skill and stuff like that. But I'm not being funny. That's not what I want from my winger. I want crosses into the box. I want him to score goals. I want him to set up Harry Kane. That's what his job is. Look, confidence, yes, it probably is a problem. Same as Harry Winks, but it's up to them to get the confidence. I'm not being funny. Coming out and performing shit in front of a crowd is not going to give them confidence. And I don't expect 60,000 people to cheer their name if they're playing crap either.
I just wouldn't put him on that list just yet.
Sorry?
Out of those players, I just wouldn't have him on that list just yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would actually give him a bit longer. Look, let's see what happens with Bergwijn. Let's see what happens. Look, hopefully you guys are right, because we need all hands to the pump, We need all hands to the pump. We need everybody performing. Phil, look, you may as well have your quick say on Bergwijn as well.
Yeah, I'd stick with him. I guess the difficulty is if you're going to give him a run of games now, who are you, from those front three, who are you taking out? Because Son's not dropping out. Tanguy's not dropping out. So you're like your Mora or Bergwijn. And what you should have is Bergwijn as, once Mora's tiring or anything like that, he's there. But I would say with him and Hill, they're probably the only two names that I'm looking at on the bench thinking maybe they could make a difference. The rest of them, you're like, what? They just add nothing. So I think, with that list, the 4 Ds, without a doubt, they've got to go. And at this point, I don't care whether we cancel the contract or let them go for free. They just need to be out of the club because they're just wrong. They're just all wrong.
100%.
I agree on the others apart from Dyer, to be honest. But there we go.
Yeah, you have some weird soft spot for Dyer.
I like Dyer. I just think his mentality. I see a lot of myself in Dyer. That's what it is.
Yeah,
just the way that he is. If he believes in something and he wants something done, he'll go out and do it. Well, at least he tries to go and do it. That's the same mentality that I've got, and I see that.
No, look, God loves a tryer, but unfortunately, we're talking about professional football, and trying just isn't good enough. You have to do it at this level. Look, the guy. It looked like the guy was trying to lead the conga line there against Newcastle, and he didn't. He went to header it and kick it and done neither. Hit off his knee and went in. No, look, I do agree with you. I do actually think Dyer probably does have a good mentality. Look, if you go back to what the documentary that came out, Jose said he is one of the players that will actually fight for the cause, will fight for the badge. He looks after other players on the pitch. So, look, that's probably why we keep seeing him in there. Look, the thing is with Dyer, right, he's a big lad. He's aggressive. There is a player there. But he needs to now do it consistently. Darryl Denton makes a good point here. Shadley wasn't good for us. We sold him, yet we stand by Bergwijn. And for me, Shadley had more end product than what Bergwijn did. I do agree with you there, Darren. Dark Song G says, last 6 games away versus West Ham, 3 wins and 3 losses. Let's up the win. Let's up it to 4 wins and 3 losses. Big yourself up, Dark Song G. I knew you'd have some sort of stat there waiting to go. Big yourself up, my man. Let's get the win today. Let's absolutely shatter the mighty hammers. Come on. Let's have it. But Josh, back to you. Antonio, how do we handle? And are you afraid of him today?
You get Romero to stick Antonio in his pocket and just cradle him the whole game. I think that's the only way. I mean, Mikel Antonio scores against us all the time. It's already been said, and he scored more goals against us than any other Premier League game. But I think that back pairing of Romero and Dyer he's gonna be the crucial part of stopping him. And I genuinely think that Romero's going to wrap him up in cotton wool, stick him in his pocket, and tell him everything's going to be all right when he starts crying. Like that's how you stop Antonio anyway.
Yeah.
But again, we've got to want it just as much as he does. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get stuck in. And if you need to 2-foot him, 2-foot him. I don't think it really matters in a fixture like this.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, you have to show a bit of aggression. Look, smart aggression though, Josh.
Yeah, Give away a tactical foul. Like if you can see, like if you have to like barge him over a little bit, do it. Just don't be afraid to get stuck in. Yeah, the one thing that Mikel Antonio doesn't deal with, the one thing that Mikel Antonio does not deal with properly is pressure. And if you put the pressure on him, he'll crumble.
Interesting. And Phil, what's your thoughts on Mikel Antonio today? You worried?
No. As long as Romero starts, I think no, because I think he's such a great defender. He steps up. He doesn't wait for trouble to come to him. It's like he goes looking for it, and I think that's what you got to do with Antonio is you cut it off at source so that the second he gets the ball, he's got Romero right on him straight away. And in Romero we trust.
Yeah. No. Look. You know what? I think Romero's the right man to get Mikel Antonio because he's naturally aggressive. He's naturally always trying to defend on the front foot, which is get up his hole, try and nick the ball before it even comes into his feet. So I do think, it'd be absolutely brilliant battle to see. Look, if I was Antonio, I'd be pinning myself up against Dyer. I'll be honest with you. I'd fancy myself running in behind. But look, this is where Dyer needs to stay switched on, Again, look, the thing is, if Dyer, for me, I think if Dyer does, or if Romero does go on to try and stop the ball at source for Romero, Dyer has to get in behind Antonio and cover. He has to. It's about having, I think Dyer and Romero have to do it as a partnership. Vice versa. If Antonio goes onto Dyer's side, Romero has to just drop that little bit deeper just to cover anything coming in behind. It can be done. Look, Antonio, he's not the... Look, he is a good player. I actually, be honest, I think he should be in. I think he should have been in the England team by now. I think he should be in there over Dominic Calvert-Lewin and that. Look, as Brian Daigle already said, he does love a goal against Tottenham, but we've got one of the best centre backs in world football right now, in Romero. Dyer's a big boy too, so hopefully between the two of them, they can bully. Antonio. But another thing, we need to stop the ball at source before it even gets to Antonio. Press the living shit out of West Ham. Press them high. Be aggressive in your press. And try and stop that ball at source. Try and disgruntle them. Make them hit the long ball. The long ball that Antonio doesn't want. Antonio wants the ball into feet, or he wants the ball in behind into space. So make them hit that long ball, and you should be able to recover it all day long. But look, I do have faith that Romero will keep Antonio out. I really do. Look, after the first 10 minutes, if we haven't conceded, because we have over the last while, I can see us going on and winning this game, and I can see Dyer and Romero just having a pure shutout against Antonio. But look, another player we also have to watch is Ben Rama. Him and Ben Rama, they link up very well. If you can take Ben Rama out of the game, you might also be able to take Antonio out of the game. Just isolate the two of them from each other, and it should be a job done today. We'll start with Phil on this one. West Ham United, they are very good in the air, especially in set-piece situations. Spurs have struggled defending set pieces this season, especially corners. Ogbonna, Kurt Zouma, Dawson, Soucek, Antonio, they're all dangerous in the air. They're all very, very big boys. How do we handle that sort of aerial threat, especially since they rely on that sort of threat to get goals as well?
Well, you would just hope that they've spent the week working on that, because anyone who knows anything about football knows that we're not great and they are good. But we've got the players to be able to deal with it. Some of it will be getting the right people to mark the right people, and it sounds really basic to all of us, but it proved it against Chelsea that it just doesn't happen. So you've got to get your tall guys in there. And you none of this zonal stuff or any of that. You've got to be man on man, and you've got to have that desire to get to the ball first. And if you do that, then we'll come out all right.
Yeah, no, a good point. You know, it is a very good point because you've seen what was it against Wolves? Ndombele picking up someone not really doing his job. Dele Alli against Chelsea on Thiago Silva not doing his job. You know, we've seen it time and time again this season, last season, and it is a good point for him. Just the right players picking up the right people. Look, Josh, or Brian, sorry, we'll go to you, Brian.
Yeah.
Do you think we have the players to be able to compete with West Ham in the air? Do we have big boys ourselves to be able to match them up?
Well, I mean, we should. I mean, you look at it. Lucas Moura has a fantastic spring on him. He literally his hang time is literally ridiculous. You got Romero, you've got Dyer, you got Skip, you've got the players, but yeah, we are notoriously bad at defending set pieces. So, like Phil just said, they've been at home all week, and you would think one of those days that they have spent has got to be right. Set pieces, set pieces, set pieces, set pieces, because they are literally. It is, and West Ham have always been very good at set pieces, but now they've got people that can add in. West Ham are good because they always used to have big players that can cause troubles, but now they've got players that can actually deliver the ball. I mean, Aaron Cresswell is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Set pieces, absolutely outstanding, and they've got other players there. And we got to keep an eye on the Czechs, the two Czech players, it's Sufal and Souček.
Alan Souček.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. So it's all down. Like I said, I mean, the Ndombele one against Wolves. I just don't get why you have someone at Tanguy Ndombele defending because we know he can't. So it's like, well, why you put him there? He should be outside in case we counter attack.
Yeah,
Dele is just Dele, so he's shit. So it doesn't matter. He's probably too busy playing with his hair, going, "Oh, what should I do tonight? So over Chinese or an Indian?" And just playing with his hair. So we've got the players there now. And again, this comes down to the mentality. This comes down to them being switched on and realising danger. And hopefully, one of the things they've done this week is trade set pieces, like non-stop. Like at the end of every session, do like an hour just defending set pieces, and then let's see if it bears fruit.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And Josh, you know, set pieces, how do we keep West Ham out from set pieces?
Again, it's all down to the training. If the work on the training field's been done, and we've learned from the mistakes that we've got where we've gone wrong before. Like I'm pretty sure I've been in a game and I've been watching the game and I've thought to myself, well, we're starting to defend set pieces just a tiny little bit better. We're starting to see an improvement in the defensive set pieces. Hopefully, there's more improvement made, and we can actually defend the set pieces that come against us. Better yet, if we can not concede set pieces, even better for us. I mean, corners are going to be the tough one because it's going to be a high action game, so the ball's going to be back and forth all day. But as long as we don't give away any like stupid free kicks outside the box that people are going to that they can turn in, we should be all right. We genuinely should be all right. But again, I think it all depends on what's happened on the training field. There was footage of Son taking free kicks.
Oh yeah,
and he hits top bins every time.
Yeah,
but it's all when a good practice in taking the set pieces. I'm just hoping the same practice has been put into defending them. Genuinely, seriously hope that.
No, do you know what? I'd agree with that. Look, if Nuno has, told them during the week what players they need to be picking up individually, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But as well, from set pieces, some of these players need to take a leaf out of Romero's book. Go and attack the fucking thing.
Make yourself look big.
Be proactive. Every defender growing up was always told by the manager, anything that comes in that box, go and attack. We have too many players that want to stand there, they're caught flat-footed, they want to wait till the ball comes to them. Stop it. Be proactive. Go and meet that fucking ball and get it cleared. That's what we need to do. And I think we wouldn't have a problem. David Harris, great name. I'm David Harris too. I wonder, has my father had a cheeky little an affair somewhere and named you the same as his great son here? Yourself up. Where are you from, David? Do let me know, my man. Do let me know where you're from. Lightwork says, I feel Kane's going to be isolated again, no movement. Look, it very well could be the case. If our defence can't get in it and they're just pumping long ball, our midfield cannot get into the game whatsoever, it's going to be a long day, not just for Kane, but for Ndombele. It's going to be a long game. Look, I do fear that if Kane is getting isolated, he's going to drop deep and start picking up the ball. Look, if you're not in the game, I suppose it's good about being proactive and going about trying to get yourself into the game. But then it just means there's nobody up front. It just that's the problem with that. It means there's no focal point. So yeah, look, light work. Let's wait and see. Hopefully, Kane does turn up today. As soon as I see his hair, I'll know whether he will or not. That's for sure. I can tell you that. I'm not usually too far wrong with that. 2 more questions, lads. West Ham have been playing almost exclusively a 4-2-3-1. Spurs are also playing a 4-2-3-1. If they have the same shape as us, what does it mean and how will the match unfold? And we'll start with Josh.
I think if they're mirroring us, it's got all the workings of a tough game and a very, very good game. We're both going to be playing very similarly. Hopefully, the way that we've played this formation for quite a while. I'm not too sure if West Ham have. So hopefully we can read them. We can read the formation that they're trying to go. So we know what the next move is going to be. We need to be thinking 2 steps ahead. We need to play chess while they're playing checkers. That's how we're going to win today. That's genuinely how we're going to win.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Phil, both teams matching up with the same formation. Is that playing into our hands?
I think, yeah, because I think we've got the system and now it's sorted and it gives us strong at the back and obviously enough movement and everything up front to be able to do that. My concern today with that formation is, we went a goal down against Newcastle and we just stepped it up. We would struggle if we go a goal down today. They'll have the sort of the 4 at the back, the 2 in front of that. They're going to be hard to break down, and then it leaves us open a little bit for counter. But we just got to go back and be on the front foot. I think we know the system. It suits the players that we've got. Hopefully, they've spent all week training on it, and that's just what they need.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Daniela Stewart, look, at the end of the day, yeah, we will take Antonio out, but do it in a smart position. Like you already said, he likes to wonder, so he's not just going to be on the edge of the box, So, look, if you've watched Tottenham as much, you'd know that Skip, Højbjerg, and Romero, they're all going to be waiting for a chunk to take a chunk out of Antonio. So be ready. David Harris says, we've been on the cheese room together and didn't realize we were both called David Harris. Now, that is, man. That is true, my man. That is true. Big yourself up. Great name, though, I have to say. Great name. Daigle, same to you. How do you think with both of us playing the same formations, how it's going to match up?
So the first thing is our team, as people have been saying in the comments, have been 4-2-3-1 for years. We've had our best Premiership success playing that formation, and we saw what he can do. Yes, it was against Newcastle, but we see how much more balance there is and how much more comfortable the team is playing that formation. So if we go and stick to this formation, you can see what it can do. I mean, it all goes down to, like I said, well, I keep talking about it. This is just how important it is with Skip and Højbjerg, the balance that it allows the squad to do what they do best. Because it means, like you said, Reguilon and Emerson, who we both know are attacking fullbacks, can go forward because they know there's cover. It means that Dembele doesn't have to come into shape. It means Lucas Moura can play literally wherever he wants. And we saw he started off slow against Newcastle, Moura, but the end of the first half and second half, no one can ever doubt Lucas Moura's work rate. It's outstanding.
Best vertical in the game as well.
Oh, he's literally he always gives 1,000,000,000%. He is incredible. So I think, like I said, I'll keep saying it with Romero, Skip, Højbjerg, and Lucas. The balance it gives to the rest of the squad to go and do what they do. I think this is where it wins. And if we do play, which we all know this to be the same team, that's where it's going to be, because there's just a lot more confidence going there, and rather than like Mourinho, where we used to think about where our opponents were strong and not worry about where we were strong, we seem to be going back in that kind of way, that we're now focusing on what we're good at.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to go. That's where it will change. Because of that diamond, kind of like a midfield diamond, we've kind of got it defence, 2 midfielder, and whatever you want to say, Lucas Moura's playing. So I think that diamond is pivotal to everything we do.
No, I couldn't agree more. I actually couldn't agree more at that, to be honest with you. And look, just for me, look, I think it's going to be hard to find space. Everyone matching up. But look, hopefully it comes down to that our quality shines through on the day and we just play it better than them. Hopefully that is the case. Now, look, the last question, and we'll start with Daigle because he was dying to talk about earlier, is, look, Daigle, at the minute, it looks like the pressure is back on Nuno. If we do lose today, Nuno out will be absolutely everywhere. First of all, Brian, is it fair on him?
No.
And we just need to be patient with the guy.
So we do need to be patient with him. Whether you're Nuno in or Nuno out, like I am with Levy in and Levy out, it doesn't matter where you look at this. It's not his fault. If you look at United, United have the board that back their manager, and they have, there's no doubt, a world-class group of players. If you can't get anything out of those players, then you know it's the manager. Yeah, because you can't say the board don't spend or back him. You can't say that the players aren't good enough to win anything. You look at that. Well, with us, it's the exact opposite. We don't back our managers. We go through them. I mean, I think the only one that does it more is Watford, and thank God we're not doing what a Watford does. Yeah. But how many more managers do we need to go through with the players not being refreshed? Like, you look at, like I said, 9 players from the Arsenal game were there under Poch. There's no freshening up. There's no. Yeah. Listen, you need to keep it fresh. Whether you sign absolute world class, which obviously we sign very few and far between, like at the top echelons, or you get some players that like at the Bele's level, or you sign some. Just bring in new blood to keep it going and freshen it up, because these guys have just got so easy with their, it don't matter, I'm going to play anyway I don't really care, I get my wage. This is not Nuno. If Nuno, I keep saying, if Nuno had come, forget the Poch, blah, 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 all that nonsense. If Nuno was named at the end of the season, like the great businessman and the great person that tells truth, our very own Pinocchio Levy, had told the truth at the beginning and said, right, Nuno's our manager, he would have had 75 days, minus the people in Euros and Copa America, to get his feet under the table, start implementing what he wants to do, have more time to get the transfer market in, and then not have to deal with everything that happened after the Euros with Kane. Yeah. Then you could start saying, right now, he's had that whole time to get the pre-season ready. He's had that time to get the players that he wants. And now look, and it's not happening. And then you look at it. Now, people keep saying to me, and I respect their opinions, if Levy goes, who do you know who's going to get in? How are they going to make it better? What's he going to do? Is he going to be a billionaire? Is it? Well, it's exactly the same with Nuno. Who the hell? But the thing is with Nuno, no one will want to come, like you said, because no one can deal with the parasite. Yeah. And it's like, you're going to get money to spend. We'll get players. We've got a chance. It's like, well, where is it? And then you have this deadwood that you can't get out because the chairman puts the price too high. So listen, when you've gone through this for 21 years almost, you've got to look and say, well, wait a minute. Surely this isn't just the manager. There's a bigger picture. And I think people that go on about Nuno and Nuno out I understand where they're coming from. I don't agree with them. I understand where they're coming from. But then you've got to say, like people say to me with Levy out, who comes in? And you are looking at people like Eddie Howe. Yep. Or Daniel Fonseca, or whatever Fonseca, with Pablo, or whatever bloody Fonseca it was. And you are looking at play. You're looking at, obviously he won't come. So I'm just throwing this name out. I know it's not going to have Frank Lampard. You're looking at players that are managers that are out of a job because no one is going to want to come to Tottenham in January that's got a job. That would be able to do. That would be able to do a job there. Obviously, people from lower leagues and whatever. But I was having. Now I'm going to throw a conspiracy theory out there. Now it's not mine. It's not mine at all. But I'm hoping this one is true. Not because I want Nuno to do well. But people have been saying, or one person particularly, and it was actually when I was on. I can't remember what stream. It might have been when I came off your stream on Monday, David. There was someone saying that, you know what? People actually starting to think that Ten Hag's coming. Now, listen, the reason I say that is because obviously they said this with the interview. This is a 2-year contract. But if you look at it, we're going around buying a lot of youth. A lot of youth. and who comes in. So maybe we are, because it's a 2-year contract. Maybe there is something with them that at the end of the season it could not. I don't think it is. I don't think at all. But the way we're going around and looking at youth, I know we're building for the future and everything. When I saw it, someone said, "You know what? They reckon that there could be an agreement because that's why we're going buying youth because this is Ten Hag's model, and maybe." So don't get me wrong. I think it is like a huge.
Me and Jack were actually speaking about that the other day, because we actually already approached Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying to Jack, like, well, why would Ten Hag come to Tottenham when he knows that he has a team, and then once outside of his team, he has a backup team with youngsters and everything else.
Yep.
He knows that they're going to perform and get the results which our backup players will not do for him. So why would he leave Ajax to come to Tottenham and ruin his reputation? He's not going to do it. I get Tottenham is a bigger club, but at the end of the day, when you're someone like Ten Hag and you're doing well with a team like Ajax, you will have Real Madrid, Barcelona and all knocking on the door. His thoughts are bigger than Tottenham. And this was the problem. A lot of managers done it. Conte looked at Tottenham. He basically said to Levy, if you don't give me the funds, I will not come. Purely because a lot of the managers are looking at the squad, especially last season before we cleared them out. And even now, they're still going to look at it and say, well, I ain't coming in here because Pochettino and Jose Mourinho are not bad managers. And if Nuno goes, that's a third manager.
Yep.
Not be the managers when some of these same players are here. And if you think I'm going there to risk my reputation when I know I'm not going to be given the funds and everything else, why would I do it? Why would I do it? So you're going to keep going along the path with someone like Nuno, but it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better from here, purely because they're not being guaranteed a budget to be able to turn around the team.
Correct.
And they know that with not being given that budget, they know that there's a core group of players at Tottenham Hotspur that will end up throwing them under the bus. When they look at it, they know that there's player power here. They ain't coming unless they're turning around that dressing room. It's that simple because the players run it. You need a manager that has fear from them. And that won't happen at Tottenham Hotspur unless you get rid of some of the troublemakers. And another thing I do want to back you up on is, as Spurs fans, we're always living in the fear. Oh, well, what if we get rid of this person and it gets worse? You cannot allow that fear to hold you back. In football, you get some right, you get some wrong, right? It's the way it is. It's the nature of the game. But you have to roll the dice and take that gamble. Whether it's you want new owners, whether it's you want players out and other players to come in, whether, the manager or whatever else, you cannot be held back by the fear of, oh, well, what if we got rid of Daniel Levy and got in Mike Ashley? You cannot allow that to hold you back. You have to be able to roll the dice. It's that simple. You have to. Otherwise, things will only get worse if you keep letting that fear hold you back. Because with that fear, oh, well, we don't want to replace Ben Davies. What if we don't get a good backup in? That fear will ultimately undo you in the long run. And it already has started to undo us. So as Spurs fans, we cannot let that hold us back. But look, Phil, where do you stand with Nuno? And do you think that, the pressure that will be put on him if you lose today is unfair?
Yeah, I think Brian's covered it off perfectly. I wasn't the greatest, fan when it was like, oh, Nuno's coming, but now he's our manager and he's Tottenham and he's got to deal with the guys that are out there. And, I honestly believe you could bring Pep in tomorrow and you still are not going to get too much of a tune out of our second string 11. So you have to look at the reason why. And you just covered it. Your Ben Davies, your Winks. They've peaked. They've already peaked. So we're trying to keep them to do what? We're in cuckoo land if we think we're going to, not get anybody better. I think there's been a good surge on the youth, and whether the Ajax guy is coming or not, I don't know. But maybe that's just a bit around our finances or the lack of money that they're willing to spend. But either way, the problem you've got is our first 11 is up there with the majority of, the top teams. When you look on that bench, Nuno can't make, a gourmet meal out of a pile of shit, can he? and that's what he's got, and part of me almost was glad, and it's really bad to say, but on Thursday, I thought he absolutely made the right decision. That wasn't down to him, that performance. Yeah. That was down to those 11, and each of those needs to look at themselves and go, do you know what? I'm not good enough to be here. You can't rely on me. You can't. None of them were playing that game Thursday, and we're thinking, "God, you know what? Ben Davies, he's going to give Reguilon a run for his money." Reguilon must be sat watching that, going, "I only got to turn up, and I'm in." There's none of that pressure coming through from the guys in reserve, and that is not Nuno's problem. Hopefully, Paratici's dealing with it in the background, but we all know he's going to be governed by some other factors. But that's where it is. I honestly think it doesn't matter who you bring in, until you deal with that mentality and that dressing room issue, we're not moving forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, Josh, what's your thoughts on the whole Nuno situation?
I think win, lose or draw, you're going to get the Nuno out. You're going to hear Nuno out, because there are so many people out there that are so resilient on Nuno actually doing well at Spurs that they just want him out the door now. Like, who'd you get to replace him? That's the question you've got to ask. There are no managers on the market that, one, would come to us, two, are good enough to come to us, and three, would make an impact with us. Like, there's no one. Do I like Nuno? Yes. Do I want him as our manager? Not particularly. Will I stick by him? 100%. We have to make do with what we've got now. He was a ninth choice. Granted, no, we didn't want him. We didn't want him. There were other managers that we wanted to bring in, but again, it's not the manager that's the problem. It's the board upstairs, because the board upstairs they need to be able. They need to throw the checkbook at these managers and say, look, here's X amount of money. Go and sign whoever you want. We're not going to. You put the price on the players. Off your pop. And just let him get on with it. But Daniel Levy likes to stick his nose in too far where it don't belong. He's a businessman. He's not a football manager. He doesn't know anything about football. He's a businessman. All he cares about is making a quick buck. That is literally it. It's not the manager's problem. It's the board upstairs. So you have to get behind the manager, because the manager can only do so much with what he's got.
Yeah,
you can lead a man to water, but you can't teach him how to drink. That's literally all it is.
Yeah, look, I would judge Nuno on his use of Harry Kane's son and them players, not his use of Harry Winks and players of that ilk. But look, guys, before we get your score predictions, because I do have to end off, because I am heading over to pre-match pump up to start that. But look, Brian, where can people find you?
Well, they can find me today at the Tottenham Hotspur We Are Tottenham TV studio. So I'm doing the watch along with Ben and Sim. So I'm literally going to be getting ready after this and making my way to the studio. But other than that, they can find me. What's up, Bryce, brother? They can find me on Tottenham on Tour, which is my main channel with Brian Idem, my namesake. You've got a David Harris, I've got a Brian. So like Noah's Ark, we all come in twos. So you can find me there. But I'm normally on We Are Tottenham TV, a regular on your show and everyone's. But yeah, you can find me on Tottenham on TV. And David, as always, it's an absolute pleasure and honour to come on your show, and especially spend it with these two other guys.
No, look, I think it's been a good show today. Hopefully people enjoyed, a bit of a breakfast treat, over breakfast, a bit of build up for the game. I thought I would do something a little bit different. Everybody, in the comments, do let us know whether you've enjoyed it, whether you want to see us do more of these previews on the build up to the game or the night before. Do let me know, because at the end of the day, it's all about you guys. But look, guys, do get over, check out Tottenham on Tour. Make sure you get over there and smash that subscribe button. Phil, where can people find you if they want to have a chat with you?
I just appear on most of the streams at the moment, so yeah, I'm there. I'm always up there under Lettice. I'm there.
No, 100%. You can always rely on Lettice, and hopefully, look, I see some of you guys as well on the pre-match pump up. Phil, Josh. I know I see Brian because he will be in the studio. So, but look, Josh, where can people find you, my man?
So you can find me on Twitter at JoshRGNHD. I also have my own YouTube channel called Josh the Tottenham Guy. I've just released episode 2 of my player profile series on Lewis Holtby. So go and check that out. Let us know what you think. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
What's the channel called, brother?
What's my channel called? Josh the Tottenham Guy.
I'm sure I'm following it. Let me just check.
I'll put a comment in the chat so you can find it there. There you go.
Yeah,
that's me.
There you go, buddy.
There you are.
Yeah, but I've just done episode 2 of player profiles. This episode's on Lewis Holtby. First one was on Harry Kane. Got an overwhelming response. Taking suggestions from the audience, so let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, where are they now? Gylfi Sigurdsson. That's my suggestion.
In prison.
William Kelly says, I always maintain this, and I believe the major problem is Enoch and Levy. We are not a big club anymore. That mentality is being eroded by these owners. 100%, William, I have to say, you've never wavered, ever wavered by any of your comments. You and Daigle get on like a house on fire, you know? No, look, 100%, I agree with you, though. I do agree with you, William Kelly. Look, Enoch and Levy are holding us back, and that's why I say we got to trust Paratici, because whatever money he does get spent, he does get to spend. At least he will spend it well, and he will get the best possible players for the money, the little money that he is given. So look, 100%. Look, we the mentality at this club is eroding. I've said this before. I feel sorry for the likes of some of the older guys who have seen Tottenham pick up a couple of trophies every single decade. Look, me growing up watching Tottenham, we were always sort of like the underdog, you know. So when we were getting to where we were under Pochettino, it was something I've never seen in my lifetime physically with my eyes. Obviously, I know my history and stuff like that, but you know, it was good to kind of mix it with the big boys. Whereas the older generation, they've seen us mix it with the big boys and beat them at their own game. So, you know, I do feel sorry for them in that regard under Levy and Enoch for sure. But big up, William. I really do appreciate the support, brother. Really appreciate it. Guys, while we lash out the score predictions, please make sure everybody you smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I see the Spurs fan asking for the lineup. Tune in to We Are Tottenham TV, my man, from 12:30. The lineups will be out from 1 o'clock. It always come out an hour before the game. So make sure you tune in there, and the lineup will be there. Guys, I do hope to see everybody back here for the watch along on this channel at 10 to 2. So make sure you do tune in for that. But look, guys, you know, score predictions. Let's get them. Josh, what's your score prediction?
I reckon it's going to be a very, very good game, very close game, but I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Yeah, not bad.
I'll take the point. I'm not going to celebrate it like it's a cup final, but I think the way that we've been playing recently, you got to remain realistic. And they're going to want it. They're going to want it a lot. We're going to want it a lot. 2-2 draw. I think it's realistic.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, Josh. I don't let anyone way out here with predicting a loss or a draw. So I've done it to Phil before. I've done it to loads of people. You have to give me a winning Tottenham prediction.
All right, 2-1. 2-1, Harry Kane brace.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, while we're getting the rest of the score predictions, feel free to send in a super chat. Show your appreciation for the show today. If not, no worries at all. Brian, what's your score prediction, man?
I've been saying 2-1 us all week. This game always seems to bring goals. Always seems to bring goals. And as long as we get one more than them, I'll be happy. So yeah, I'm going for 2-1. I don't know why, I've got a real big feeling Lucas Moura's going to get a goal today. Not just because I love him and I think he's going to be.
That's worth a couple of quid, isn't it? That's worth a couple of quid.
But this is the thing. Before the beginning of the season, I said I think he's got the potential to be our player of the season because of what he's been doing, and I just wanted to get a few more goals this season. I can see him getting one today.
Do you know what? I hope so. I wouldn't mind a Lucas Moura goal. I like a bit of Lucas, I have to say. I really do. And look, Phil, what's your score prediction?
I've just got a bad feeling for today. So yeah, I don't think we're going to do it today. I genuinely don't. But I'm hoping they turn it around. But unfortunately, I think 2-1, 2-0 West Ham. Unfortunately.
But for the sake of the Harris Army and every deluded Spurs fan out there like me, what's your winning score prediction?
Well, if we go into sort of reality, then we're gonna get on the pitch. We're gonna have the right mentality, and we're gonna bang in 3-1 with Kane getting 2.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Look at the change in that. Look at that. That was like off the cuff, fantastic.
Boom, happy now because we're in that land, aren't we? Like, come on, yeah.
William Kelly says Levy will ruin the relationship between him and Paratici. Yeah, look, he probably will. But until then, look, for me, my hope on trying to turn things around is all on Paratici. Look, I know the money and everything else is still going to be dictated by Levy, but at least the guy will spend it right. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, I think we're all sitting here waiting for it to turn sour, aren't we, William? You know, I think we are. Big yourself up, William. I hope to see you back here for the watch along, brother. Look, man, he's going with a 2-2. Spurs fan is going with 1. Bob Spur, he's gone with a 2-1. He's been predicting wins for 41 years. Absolutely love it. And what else have we got? Got a bit of spam here in the chat. Chris Agenbor's gone for a 2-1. I'm not reading out the 2-2, man, because it's all about the win today. It's all about the win. Apocalypse has gone with a 5-1. He's given a dire own goal. Big yourself up. Big yourself up.
I'd be happy with that.
I'd be delighted with that. Shem Mehmet has gone with a 5-2. And theirishyid, it's not actually score prediction. He just wants me to say the number 3. He's gone with 3-2. And Ishan Khan has gone with 1-0. But look, guys, I hope to see everybody back here at 10-2 for the watch along. But in the meantime, you want more pre-match pump up, get your crash helmets on and join me over at We Are Tottenham TV. At the end of the day, it's a London derby and it's time to burst some bubbles. As always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.
Leave you out.
Yeah, surviving for it. There we go.